Last year, I woke up one day and at that time I only had 2. Instead of having 2 cats, I saw 4 cats at home. Hi everybody, my name is Woo Chiao and I'm the owner of 3 cats, Cottons, Cushions and Cookies. This is Cookies. I'm a dermatologist at the National Skin Centre. That's what I do for work, but most of the time I think I'm a professional cat slave to the 3 cats at home. Last year, I woke up one day and developed double vision of the left eye. My left eye was not moving. Shortly later, I was diagnosed with a stroke, and that turned out to be an autoimmune condition. So my immune system, instead of doing good things, started attacking my own brain cells. Good thing is that has recovered. I can see the correct number of cats. Shortly after the episode, he came along, and so now I have 3 cats. It was interesting because I was able to experience this from a patient point of view and to understand, to go through the hospital system and the fears. Even though I knew something about the condition, but ultimately it is a very rare condition and I find myself trying to grasp with what's going on. And one question that usually most of my patients have and I cannot answer for myself is, why me? And I think that was probably a life-sobering moment. Even small things like taking the bus was trouble because you realize that you can't see the bus number. Is that a 3 or 8? That is a problem. Taking steps. Instead of having a fixed number of steps, if they look double to you, the depth perception becomes difficult and where you're stepping. Those were moments that I realized that, wow, why did I not treasure my vision when I had one vision? So that was really quite scary. One thing that I probably learned was really to enjoy myself and don't take seeing single vision for granted. Even things I have not lost yet, ability to walk, ability to talk, ability to taste or eat, I think really learn to treasure those. As a single man with no responsibility, a part of me was just thinking, I die then die lor. But when you have 2 cats, then you start thinking that, oh, I have dependents, what happens to them? What I was not very happy was many people volunteered, oh, if anything happened to you, I'll take care of your cats. They were a bit too happy about that, so yes, all my friends watching this. Immediately after the episode, I was given time off work. I was feeling sad about my life, I was feeling vulnerable, and Louise and Aloysius was like, hey, we have a cat that is on your birthday, do you want to come and see? And I told them, I come and see only. And then the 3rd cat happened. I went to the shop, I sat down, and Cookies came down, meow at me and lie down on me. I remember that moment, I looked at Aloysius and I looked at the cat and I said to him, if I offer you a prize, I have to get it right. Yeah, and that's how it happened. I used to be a much more short-tempered person, and maybe I still am now, but I've learned that I can't be angry with them, right? They don't really understand. But yet, they give me a surge of dopamine, they give me a surge of oxytocin, when I see them sleeping at night, then I'll just bury my face into them and just squeal in the comfort of my own home that, oh, how cute they are. Watching him sleep with his belly up, they feel safe, you have provided an environment for them to feel safe, and I think that sense of fulfillment, those actually adds on to the little burst of happiness I have in my life. And I think there's nothing more privileged than being selected by a cat. My late paternal grandmother, she's one of those famous Kim Tian community cat feeder. So from young, as far as I remember, I would go to her house. She cooks dinner for the adults at about 3-4 p.m. And then from 5 p.m. onwards, you can see her in the kitchen deboning fish by hand. Then she spends a lot more time on the cat food than the human food. And at 7-8 o'clock, she starts going around feeding the cats. That kind of mental image will tell you that's the amount of cat loving that my grandmother had. So one of the childhood dreams that I never got to fulfill was to get my own cat. And that's how, when I moved out myself, one of the things, much to my mother's displeasure, was to get a cat, which became 2 and 3. So I think the cats taught me to be a lot more disciplined, not by choice, but by necessity. Because I've always wanted to wake up in the morning to, just to exercise before going to work. But having somebody lick your face until he gets his wet food in the morning at 5:30, I have to wake up, feed his food, and between 5:45 to starting work, I found a way to use my time to join gym classes. And that became a routine, and didn't expect things to come like that, but the cats have changed my life for the better. I always wonder whether my cats are smart enough or not. Someone also reminded me that you're not depending on your cats to feed you in the future anyway, so 不以后不用靠它养你, so it doesn't matter, they can be stupid, just don't, and make sure they're happy. I remember the first time I stayed in the cat connoisseur, I have gone to visit, I think 2 or 3 other cat shops before that time. First impression was they were very clean and white. And I think that clean and white, nice environment was very, very attractive. Second thing that was very, very impressive was, the cats were allowed to run around and not in cages. Everything I thought of concern, how do I brush their teeth, cut their nails, how do I shower them, what do they eat? I remember I panicked the first few times where Cotton was just blinking a lot more on one side and I was wondering something happened. And the good thing is that from Cat Connoisseur, the after sales service I think is wonderful. Truth be told, they will keep tabs on me after I got the cats to make sure that I was not ill-treating the cats. It's not like they sell you the object and leave you alone, but really they entrusted you with their kittens, and from then on, even if you ask them anything, I think they are very, very responsive, and that's very useful. Getting a cat should be a considered decision and not something you do at a whim or whim, that urge that you just want to get a cat. But more importantly, I think having a cat brings about a different dimension of my life that I never knew existed. I've always known I like cats, but now that my life is so overwhelmed with cats, and so much so to the extent that I wonder, I can't remember how I was without cats. Like, they take up so much of my personality now that what kind of person was I before cats? But I'm not regretting it. I think I like who I am today and the amount of time I spend on the cats.